The crime began long before the bombs fell. For years, northern Nigeria was gripped by terror. Villages raided at night, children taken, homes burned, and entire towns forced to kneel before gunmen who called themselves soldiers of God. They moved like shadows on motorcycles, faces hidden, rifles raised. The kind of men whose arrival meant only one thing: death was coming. Among their many strongholds was the remote village of Jabo, tucked deep between the dusty trails of Sokoto State. It was here that life ended in slow motion, not by a single bullet, but by constant fear. In that same village lived Zainab Musa, a widow raising 2 children after her husband was killed during a midnight raid. She wasn't a soldier. She wasn't a politician. She was just a mother trying to survive a war she never chose. But the biggest crime was yet to come. A crime not committed by masked militants but by the sky itself. Whispers turned into warnings. Warnings turned into threats. And then, the world's most powerful voice spoke. For months, the President of the United States issued public warnings, claiming extremist factions in Nigeria were growing into a regional ISIS power, a threat that could spread beyond Africa if left unchecked. He promised action. He promised a message. He promised consequences. Some Nigerians prayed help was coming. Others feared a foreign fire they couldn't control. Then, on a cold December night, Christmas Eve, the terror returned to Jabo. But this time, it wasn't motorcycles or gunfire. It was the distant growl of engines and the trembling of the earth as something massive crossed the sky. At 10:14 p.m., the heavens opened. A blinding flash, a roar like thunder tearing the world in half, a missile falling like a red star. The explosion didn't feel like justice. It felt like the end of everything. Zainab's daughter screamed. Her son dropped to the floor. The windows shattered inward like glass rain. Fire rose where houses once stood. The foreign strike meant to stop terrorism had landed in a village full of civilians. By sunrise, confusion blanketed the region thicker than the smoke. 2 stories emerged. Government and foreign military sources claimed the strike hit an ISIS-linked camp. They said it was a calculated measure, a necessary act of force to prevent further massacres. They insisted the mission was surgical, controlled, precise. Survivors told a different story. No weapons cache, no militants, no camp, only ruins, only a school, only families. Zainab stood among the rubble that was once her son's classroom and held a battered piece of chalk. The blackboard lay split in 2 like a broken memory. "They said they came to save us," she whispered. "But who saves us from the ones who say they came to help?" An imam from a nearby village issued a statement of grief, not anger. How do we tell a mother that her child is collateral damage? How do we bury someone whose death has no name, no apology, no reason? News outlets clashed. Politicians spun narratives. The truth was drowned by microphones. And all the while, the bodies were buried quietly. The world expected the attack to end terrorism. Instead, it changed it. Extremist factions used the airstrike as propaganda. They pointed at the charred ground and swore revenge. They promised retaliation in blood. Suddenly, northern Nigeria wasn't just a war zone. It was a battleground for narratives. Were the strikes justice? Or were they a new kind of crime, one written in the sky? Zainab found the answer in the silence of her daughter, who had not spoken a word since the night the bombs fell. "There was no victory here," she said. "Only ghosts." Life in Jabo eventually resumed, but nothing was the same. The market reopened. Children returned to what remained of the school. The call to prayer echoed in the mornings again. But every night, when darkness settled over the village, people looked upward with fear. Not at the ground, not at the roads, not at the motorcycles, but at the sky. The strike that was meant to restore peace instead became a memory that would haunt the living. A reminder that terror can fall from anywhere: a cave in the desert, the barrel of a gun, or the sky of a powerful nation claiming righteousness. Some say justice was served. Others say a crime was committed. But in the northern dust of Nigeria, where mothers bury their children and men stare at broken homes, there is no right answer, only survivors, And as long as the world keeps choosing fire over understanding, the story of Jabo will never truly end.